I was in debug mode, so I can't really show it, but you can kind of gather from this. I'm working on some rain effects, weathering effects.
Nice, rain and weather effects.
In the environment.
Sweet. I think. All right. So let's move on.
Let's move on.
So this is a full office.
Let me give a warning before we jump in here.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Do you mind if the camera swings through here, anybody?
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Spence, dude, what is going on here? I heard that you said you were going to do this last night.
We're about to be on Inception right here. We're about to go.
Oh, Streamception, bro.
Yeah, let me. This might do some wonky stuff, right?
All right. So first introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm Greg Spence. I am a programmer here on H1Z1. Newly joined the team a few weeks ago, and happy to be working on it. Having a blast.
You were what other projects you worked on here?
I worked on EverQuest Next for a while, and I was on EQ2 also for a very long time.
Nice. You helped out on PlanetSide 2. First
That's
time I
right.
met you,
Yeah.
I created a behavior on an NPC that broke the server during our, was it like alpha? Or I can't remember what it was, pre-release, and this guy came yelling at me. Kindly. He's the nicest guy ever. And he
Yeah,
fixed
it's
it.
You broke the server, bro.
It's been about 6 months on PlanetSide 2. That was a lot of fun.
So last night I walk into this office and I'm talking about today, like what we're going to do today, this, that, and the other. And Greg says, I'm going to make a neon sign that says H1Z1. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
Or at least in like 2 weeks is what you're
Yeah,
thinking.
I was
right?
thinking, okay, yeah, you're going to go home and make that. Sweet, I'll see you tomorrow. This was at like 9 o'clock already. He comes in today with this. He actually made one. I totally thought he was trolling me. Check it out.
And how did you do this?
Yeah, how did you make this?
Change colors.
What, are you serious? Is that a remote?
Yeah, you can do different colors.
What the? Dude, okay, so you're going to make one for all of us now?
Sure, we can work something like that out.
This actually office has always been good for that. We had another guy that was here at one point. I walked in and said, hey, I need a battery backup to test something. This is irrelevant to work. But I walk in here and someone goes, oh, I made one. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, no, I made one. Like, I have one. I have it on a cart. You can borrow it if you'd like. It's kind of heavy because it's self-homemade. I'm like, so if you ever need anything, it's just the office. They can engineer all kinds of things.
All right.
Well, we are engineers.
That's true.
We are engineers. Next, we have...
Tim Lochner. I'm a tools programmer. He's the other one. And
His points. This is
That
the other guy.
guy.
that guy. You'll meet him in just a second. And so basically, our job is to create tools that these guys use to make stuff as fast as possible and as efficiently as possible.
Cool. What are you looking at right
Fun ones.
Aside
cool?
from the stream,
Get the stream open, dude. We like Streamception, bro. How's the
Okay.
chat
Yeah,
doing,
that's
by the
alright.
way? We're
Yeah.
watching you right
We're
now.
watching you
just
right
like-
now.
actually, I haven't paused.
I see a lot of message deleted.
I don't know if that's a Moobot. Me and Moobot are gonna fight, man. We do not get along.
So you
him
can
out.
look at, he's actually
Poke
looking
him
at
out.
something cool right here.
Yeah.
This is our terrain editor, and this is one of the tools that you work on, right?
Yeah. So
So-
this is actually the main tool that I work on.
So this is what people like myself in level design or environment design will use to create the world, and he's actually the person who's making the tool, helped make the tool to make it so we could do this. And he's in the terrain editor right now. And what are you actually trying to do?
So right now I'm just testing features to make sure that they're solid. My job, what I'm doing right now is integrating some of the features back to PlanetSide 2 because we have kind of a shared code base. We can the features that we develop here we can send back to PlanetSide 2 and they can use, and the ones that they develop we can use.
And just so people know, PlanetSide 2 and H1Z1 are using the same engine, Forge Light engine. So there's a lot of back and forth that you guys can work on.
So we just stole a feature from them where we can export like a single part of the map at one time rather than having to do the entire thing, which really saves on the size of downloads for patches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So as kind of a gimme back, we're going to give them this feature that we designed that allows us to place objects really quickly and conforming them to a slope that you want to put them on or giving them a random rotation. So like this is a sign that would typically go on the top of a building or something like that. But if you just kind of place it around, I have it set to just go to like a random parameter.
And
so
that's
you-
really useful for like rock placement, crate placement. If you're trying to create a scene that something's like really messy, like if I wanted to create like a barrel spill somewhere, I don't have to sit there and click a barrel, rotate it, turn it, place it. I can just click, 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 click. There you go. Like here's what he did over here with all these barrels. He could just click that, 8 different times, and the barrels come out randomly rotated.
And
like
it's
that.
so hard to actually make chaos, right? Like something that was an accident, you're trying to perfectly make it that way. You're like, no, an accident wouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It ends up
random
looking.
rotation helps a
It
lot.
ends up looking like a scene that you place, but now it's randomly placed, and that's what happens in an accident. Stuff just falls.
And people will want to see more of this. Like you guys are doing streams of like developing using the train editor, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm sure you guys will see a little bit more of the tools
Sweet.
that we've developed.
All right.
Can we
Thank you.
ambush Abram? Or it was
Yes.
ambushed. What's up, Abram?
All right. Talk to the lovely people. Your name, sir.
I'm David Abram. I'm a tools programmer on the H1Z1 team, and I'm basically developing a system that allows us to place persistent decals in the world.
Nice. That's gonna be
That's gonna be
awesome.
Cool. It's definitely something we want. Actually, I've worked a lot with Dave here, back and forth with a lot of the fire mode stuff, and we deal with on the weapons side. He's been absolutely integral to making sure that that system is working properly as we intend. Because once again, this is a little bit different of a FPS. Like we need different systems to work here, and he's been really awesome helping out with that too.
Nice. I like your R2D2.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, let's get out.
Let's go back over. So you've met so far about I don't know 60% of the team. No, maybe about half. I don't know.
Yeah.
Say that.
Do what do we get going? What time is it? It's 10.
No conflicts with code.
Let's walk over to this is some more artists.
I was gonna say we've got work to do eventually too.
Yeah, that's true. Let's check out how we're doing on time. How we looking?
I don't know.
Looking great.
Okay. Well, I know we look great, but
Oh, let's go. Let's talk to Broome. Come on now.
Oh, Broome. Yes. Can you fit through here? Are you gonna be all right? Thanks, Dad. Dude, Broome, we're gonna camera incoming, Broome. Just
So guys, if you guys don't know, this is introduce yourself.
should we turn a light on?
Mat Broome, character lead on H1Z1. Here, we'll turn on some lights so you guys can actually see.
I was gonna say that camera. I don't know.
So this guy is a massive zombie fan. He's also the character lead on
Huge.
H1Z1.
Show him my
Drawing.
fish tank.
Look at check this out.
The H1Z1 fish tank.
It's awesome.
All right, we just made my fish famous.
he has nothing but zombie movies going on all day long for inspiration.
Half the time we walk in here, and I'll have to be talking to him about our wearable system or something else, which being an implementation designer and weapons and everything, I do a lot of work with the artists to try to get things in the game, like items wise. And I'll come in here and I'll be like, Broome, whoa, that's really cool. And like we just sit here for like
watching
5
the
minutes
movie.
watching something.
Pretty much.
It's like I love how they did this, that.
Pretty much, this Matt walks around and we go, oh, and by the way, we got to make sure we get that frag right.
The friggin'
Right, so we go right back
the
to
thingamajig.
Yeah.
the TV set
That's
Exactly.
and watch cool movies all
Is
day.
there? I saw you doing some awesome sketches earlier. You want to show the
Oh,
the
yeah.
fans one of these
Here,
sketches?
you know what, actually? You want to tell people kind of what you do specifically
Yeah,
like, on this team?
so basically, what I do on a project is I drive all the aesthetics, the wearables, and the attachments. So we go on Reddit and we look at your guys' comments about, questions I've seen about what are we going to be able to wear? Are we going to play female characters? The answer is yes, you are going to be able to play female characters. We don't have an announcement date yet. You'll hear about that later, but the answer is yes. Are you going to be able to have customized attachments? The answer is yes. Are you going to be able to interchange and find things in the world? You'll hear those announcements later. So we're on Reddit all the time. We're reading your guys' comments. And the answer to a lot of stuff that you're putting up is yes. The answer to when will be announced later. So some of the things that me and Jimmy have been doing that have been a lot of fun is we've been talking a lot about the archetypes in the game.
yeah.
And the cool thing is we're all big DayZ fans. We're all big Rust fans. We play a lot of the zombie survival games. Even last night, I was looking at an Xbox game that I will not mention that looked really cool. So we're always looking at other games specifically for great ideas on awesome zombies. And there's one other question before I get to the wearables that I want to answer. Are our zombies scary? Yes. If you've seen shows like Walking Dead, you're going to be really happy with our zombies because we're all Walking Dead fanatics.
I want to see the zombie. Show us. Can you show us something?
Is you got anything that people haven't seen, or is Smed gonna punch me in the face for saying that?
I don't know.
Not that
If,
Smed has ever punched me in the face.
if he doesn't care, we
Legal?
can show him the next guy in progress.
Should
But I think we'll get busted for that.
Should I find out?
Yeah, find out.
I'll be right back.
Well, for
And then what
now,
I'll do is I'll pull up who's been called Fred,
Pull
which
up
is
Fred.
funny to me
so why is he called Fred?
because Reddit called him Fred.
Because Reddit called him Fred.
And I didn't give him a name while I was making him. He was just Zombie 01. He was his asset name. So when I saw Fred, he became Fred. I kind of like it.
Nice.
Which I
So
think the first Sony Online character that's been named by Reddit. Actually, I think that's
yeah,
true.
the first SOE character named
Yeah.
by Reddit. So there
Yeah.
you go, Fred.
They didn't name anybody on Planet Side 2 when we were on
No,
there.
they just called me idiot.
No, they
Okay.
called you a lot worse than that.
I brought a tall guy.
What did the tall guy
The
say?
tall guy said we should show it.
Okay.
He was actually on his way. He's watching the stream from the office. He's
Oh.
like, wait, yeah, of course. Yeah,
Alright,
show
so
them."
here's what's funny. You guys are going to actually see what was a surprise for Smith. before he sees it.
So he's gonna see it on
gonna
stream for
see
He'll see it
himself
for the
right
first
now.
time live on Twitch.
That's the only reason right now he allowed us to do this because like I really don't
really
even
funny.
know what he's
Because he
working
wants to
on.
watch, wants to look at it.
So I'm not sure how much glare they're going to get on this. So the next guy that's in progress right now.
Fredo 2.
Yeah. So the next guy we're working on is just a little bloodier. And what you can see is, you can see on his face, here I'll turn on his teeth and
He's
stuff.
seen some stuff.
There we go.
Yeah. So this is going to be the first zombie that's worked on right now that actually has hair. So for those of you who are not used to seeing game assets in progress, I'll put a different material on his hair so you can take a look at that. Okay, there you go. So you can see his shirt is in progress, and then what'll happen is his shirt will get torn up. You can see his zombie hands in progress. But the cool thing is, to give you guys an idea of how dark we're going with this stuff, you know, again, like that Walking Dead style. If you get in real close, you can see things like his teeth detail.
That looks awesome,
And
dude.
then we can go even farther with this
Has Bill
guy.
seen this yet?
I'm not even kidding. Twitch is seeing this. Bill's seen it, but Smith
Okay.
hasn't.
Right.
And this is zombie number 2, so you guys can stop looking at the same zombie in all of our teasers. We'll start showing a few more of these as we get closer and closer.
So how are you, like, when you are trying to build a person's face, and you have to build their teeth and their gums and their tongue and everything, like, you have to really look at a human body and, like, a zombie, like, all these zombie movies you're watching, you really have to get a ton of research.
Well, you've also got to have
Oh,
a
yeah.
demented view on what someone would look like after beat over the head with a bat and rotted for a few months.
Yeah.
Correct. So what we're doing is, the cool thing is, right now, what we have is, we have a base model, and that base model will be almost like the inner workings of your anatomy, and it's going to be veins, it's going to be your cartilage, it's going to be bones, it's going to be muscle.
Sure.
So what will happen on this is, we'll actually have one surface layer.
What the fuck? I've never seen this.
The funny part is he really hasn't.
Twitch has named it Bob.
Is this
yeah,
Bob?
Fred is
Bob. I don't know if that makes you
So-
Neil or Bob, but
So now it's Fred and Bob.
I guess so.
Two
You guys are. Hey Twitch, you guys are very clever. You guys are very clever. That's
So
awesome.
original.
Thank you.
Fred and
Way to
Bob.
bring a character to the names.
Scariest names you can come up with.
It's
Right.
really close to John Doe. That's the scariest part. So basically what we'll have a base underworking mesh that is muscle, cartilage, and bone. And that mesh will be underneath a skin mesh. What you actually do is you paint in 3D and you render at the same time in the texture, and you paint down to the anatomically correct version underneath the character. So you paint in layers. Then you combine all these layers together, and you actually export these guys and take them into the game. So you're technically doing them all at once. So these arms, for instance, on this guy, I'll give you an idea of how kind of detailed we get. So the cool thing about these programs, let's do something fun so these guys can actually be entertained for a second. All right, let's beef this up. So for instance, you know, we got a vein right here. It's pretty boring. It's not popping out. Well, the cool thing about these programs that makes this fun is you can go in here, and this is actually the 3D mesh right now and the high res, and you can just bump these veins out. And just to give you an idea, this is the actual in-game 3D character right here.
So you're in real time editing the 3D model.
This is the actual guy that will go into the game. All of his surface details will be reprojected at the same time as I'm painting on him. And then what will happen is, as I'm painting on this guy in real time, he will ultimately become this, which will look more familiar to some of the more savvy game fans out there. He'll look like this, which is how you're used to seeing in texture maps. So what's actually happening is,
That looks demented.
you're actually painting on the 3D character that lives in the game in about 14 to 16 million polys. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's really, really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, Matt, you've been the marquee dev so far, and shown
Yeah,
us
You
everyone's
know how
just
we roll.
boring.
Bob and Fred.
Bob and Fred. There
Don't
you
hurt
go.
yourselves with the next name.
What's your Twitter so people can follow you, so people can see
Is it
more?
still
H1Z1 _ think M Broome.
Pretty sure it is.
H1Z1
That sounds right,
underscore
Broome.
M
Yeah.
M Broome.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Cool.
And I'm watching to make sure I'm getting new followers.
yeah, and he's looking.
If I don't get at least 100, it's not going to be Bob.
Uh-oh. If he doesn't get at least 100 Twitch followers or Twitter
Since when does
followers,
Twitter allow people to tag you in photos?
I don't know.
What?
Oh, wait, hold
I
on.
just got tagged in a
AKA
photo.
last week. I got the one I just tagged you.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is going on? Sorry.
So this is I'm gonna put you guys on blast right now. This is introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Taina Berardi. I'm the H1Z1 Global Brand Manager.
These girls work behind the scenes.
Ladies.
And ladies. Sorry.
Ladies.
See, that's exactly what they do.
We keep these guys in check.
For saying
basically.
things like that.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
And,
you guys can say whatever is on your mind.
Awesome. See, free reign. I can say whatever I want. No, I'm just
Hi.
kidding.
Within reason.
Just no cursing. I can do that.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Michelle Cagle. I head up PR here at SOE. We have a very transparent approach, as you can see.
Awesome.
So
All
I
right.
can't tell if it makes your job easier or harder.
I don't know who's sitting
Hey,
over there on the
ultimate
blue
job.
bag.
That's Shannon.
Oh yeah, Shannon. I know Shannon. Okay.
Yeah, totally.
Hi Shannon. So there you go.
We're just working on some YouTube stuff.
Awesome. All right. So the rest of the dev team this way. Just wanted to give you guys behind the scenes. It's not all just developers here and game designers. We also have PR and marketing and tons of community behind the scenes. We have Tim, the cable wrangler.
Tony.
He's and of course Andre, the cameraman. If you guys know who he is, if you follow PlanetSide too.
News crew coming in?
And yeah, this news group. So actually, introduce yourself. I'll start with you, Steve.
Hi there, Steve George. I'm the producer on H1Z1. I've been at Sony Online for about 15 years, so I've been doing this for a long time. Some of you might know me from Free Roam, so there's my sad chatty.
Sad chatty.
So I get to do all the boring stuff that nobody else wants to deal with, like,
Yeah, what does
like
a producer do?
schedules.
Oh,
So
that
fun.
looks awesome.
We get to look at everybody's progress.
When you yell things like hands off, hands off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Check in.
Kids, if you want to grow up and be a producer, this is your future, right?
I'm also in charge of making sure the builds go smooth, and whenever we go live, I'll be the guy that's always working on getting the publish out to you guys on time, working with the team, keeping everything coordinated. I also do some programming on the side. I wrote a tool for our team that does all of our server management.
Which is awesome.
And yeah, it allows them to quickly launch servers and test things out and iterate quickly. And we're also doing a little experiment over here. This is we're trying to come up with a web interface to where we can actually click anywhere on the map and drop things in the world while it's live. So you might be walking around and I'll see you moving around here. Just
Steve's in a
click,
bad mood.
bam, give you a couple zombies to play with.
Nice.
So this is just a test, but well, this might turn into something big later down the road.
Sweet. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, we are, you know, I don't even know what state this is. I guess people are calling it pre-alpha. But
Oh,
this
yeah.
is like a state of the game where stuff really starts getting, the meat starts really starting getting fleshed out. basically.
Totally.
And so many things start getting added later. And this is a really awesome part of development. So let's move over to one of our game designers here. Let's introduce you.
Oh yeah, he was actually on stream.
He was
earlier.
on stream earlier. You saw him as...
Hello. He's a robot. He can only turn 10 degrees at a time.
I'm Paul Kerko. I'm working on the crafting for the game. I've been at Sony forever also and worked on lots of different crafting systems. So this is
What other games did you work on at Sony?
EverQuest 2, PlanetSide 2, Free Realms, Dark Kingdom.
Jeez. That's a lot.
What haven't I worked on?
That'd be an easier question,
Yeah,
probably.
exactly.
So right now I'm working on the Wooden Barricade. I think I actually have all the data stubbed out, so you can see it in our little crafting window here.
He's working on the feature that we are working on for the development.
Oh, by the way, sorry, I'm going to interrupt real quick. If you're just now joining us, we haven't really been reiterating what's going on.
Yeah, that's true.
We are in the middle of a 12-hour live stream. We started here at 9 a.m. this morning, going to 9 p.m. tonight. Here pretty soon, players are going to be able to come in the studio. Sony Shock, follow
Oh, nice.
Steve George over here. He needs some followers. I tweet him out every once in a while.
I'll
for
give you some
mine.
inside information.
That's right. He's got all the cool stuff. He usually experiments around with the builds, so it really is cool when he tweets.
But yeah, but we're basically building a feature in 12 hours. That's what this 12-hour live stream is. And one of the features was a barricade. And Paul, look at Paul's getting distracted.
I'm just crafting here.
He's just trying to craft.
Oh my god! Oh my. Later.
Aw.
He just flies away.
And he dev hacks away because he has to
I'm
work.
trying to craft you.
So he's working on the feature that you guys wanted early at the end of the day today. So he's got work to do. This is what he was talking about. So go ahead, Paul. So he's working on crafting.
It's stubbed out right now. I just really need art and the socketing stuff. So let me find a house to go live in.
While he's finding the house there, I want to kind of explain as well, like as designers, we're in kind of a different spot than a lot of the coders and other people you're going to be seeing, because during this process, we can put things in for data very quickly. We could technically put in an aircraft carrier, but without code to be able to support said aircraft carrier and how it's going to work, and without the assets to make it so, it doesn't do much, but Paul's going to kind of show us what he has so far, I guess.
So let's see. Let's pretend I want to live here. I actually did this in a playtest the other day and it was awesome. So what doesn't work right now, that soon will, is things like this will have sockets in it, and whenever you're placing this wall, it'll snap to it and be really nice. Right now, everything just kind of is floating out in space. You can see I'm placing my little barricades.
And this is what players are going to be using, right? He just basically opened up the crafting window, crafted it, and then it popped into the world, and then he's going to place it where he wants to barricade himself.
Yeah, so I'm making a couple more here.
He's not doing any kind of like crazy dev hackery now. He's actually placing it in the
No,
wall.
this is pretty close. The difference with the players is that it'll snap in place and only fit on walls, where it belongs. Because right now you could just place these vertical standing things anywhere in the world and it would look crazy.
Yeah.
I actually like that. Right in the middle of the road, to see Clay coming.
Yeah.
So what I was going to check was I also put in the behavior for breaking these things. So once we get done with art, it'll like fire off particles and change its state. Right now it's just stuff data, so this will probably turn into some crazy other... I'm going to shoot it.
By the way, this is my fault. This axe is so slow right now. Apologize.
Yeah, what did you do, Jimmy?
I borked it. Nice decals.
Oh, dude, that's an awesome barricade so far.
For some reason, it's not taking damage. So yeah, it would be damageable, and then like, you know, the wood would be deteriorated, and eventually it would shatter and break, and then people get in.
Yeah.
But these have collision and everything. The zombies will probably come up and start eating these things.
Well, you know, it's been, what, an hour, if that, and you're already making progress on our barricade, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, now comes the fun part. We start figuring out things like the pathing side of it, the socketing part, and everything else.
Right.
So there you go, guys. That's Paul Carrico. He is working on the barricades for crafting.
Thanks, you
let's
guys.
move on. Yep, see you guys later. So here's some artists. Oh, here's a fun. This is going to be a fun cubicle. So let's start with Zim over here first. Let's introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Ryan Zimmerman. I'm a senior artist here at Sony Online. I'm in charge of wearables, such as backpacks, hats, shoes, anything the character is going to wear.
Nice, and I see you got a backpack up there. What is that? Can you give us a little insight on that?
All right, so this is just a generic backpack. Basically, I model it in ZBrush, and then I can actually show you ZBrush. Model it in ZBrush, and then this is insanely high, a couple million polys, so then we take it into Maya and bring it down to something more reasonable, 1,000 polys or something like that. And then from there we can texture it by applying a texture to it, and we can make variations off of the same mesh to keep overhead low.
Wow, that's cool, man.
And that's one of the biggest pushes as well. I mean, we've talked about that already, is performance is key with this game, especially with the player count and everything we're going with. And creative minds like Zim here come up with ways for us to be able to reuse as much as we can, still look great, and be great in game.
Absolutely.
That's sweet. All right, we'll stop bothering you. Go on and make your backpacks and all the other awesome stuff that you're going to give me for free because I want all that cool stuff.
Are we okay to show off the collection over here?
I don't know. Case, are you ready for this?
For what?
All right, guys, there you go. I think this guy's a fan of something.
I don't know what.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Matt Case. I am a senior artist here on H1Z1, and yeah. Welcome to my hovel.
Let's get a look at that. Let's look at all this stuff.
It is awesome.
This is pretty awesome. It's not going to come off as cool on camera, but actually seeing it is. Do you know how many you have in here? Do you have a number?
In here, roughly, I think 1,000. I had to downsize when we moved to the little cubicles here.
I remember when
amazing.
you weren't here the day that they moved for us, like when we moved to this office, people came in to do that. And I looked over, I'm like, holy crap, how is Case going to get into this?
So, Matt, what are you working on right there?
I am working on an apartment building for the world. And basically I was given someone else built the exterior of the building, and I've been given floor plans by design of what they want in each of these levels. So we'll have the ground floor, several levels of just regular apartments, and an apartment suite, along with an elevator shaft that apparently you're going to be able to fall down. So
that's going to be amazing. I can't wait until you have that done so I can place it and prop it and put it into the world. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I just got this last night, so I'm still kind of in the planning phase of how I'm going to cut it up and put all the rooms in it. So that's where I'm at. So.
Awesome. Quick question. I'm actually looking at chat on my phone right now. They asked what your favorite Transformer is.
Favorite Transformer? Any particular figure? Let me see. It would probably be either my original Optimus Prime or the one that's standing up there in the middle.
Nice.
Sweet.
Digging it.
Can't go wrong with Optimus Prime.
Never.
All right, thank you very much, Matt.
All right,
Awesome.
Thanks a lot, guys.
That building looks
Enjoy the rest of the day.
For sure.
Clegg doesn't know who Optimus Prime is.
No.
Confirmed.
I know who Optimus
Confirmed.
Prime is.
Hold on. Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
So, I said if they give us, if I got 100 followers, that his name would be Bob.
Wait. Okay.
The next zombie is Bob.
Oh yes.
We got it in 12 seconds.
You got 100 followers in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Good job, all right, guys, let's try this again. I'm Jimmy Wiz.
Higher
Follow
goals
me
next
on
time.
Twitter.
Higher goals.
Excellent.
Higher goals. Watch out for the court. Watch out for the court.
All right. Tom, you've met Tom. Say hi, Tom.
You have fancy screens on
Hi,
right
Tom.
now, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
I generally have a fancy screen.
So there's probably aspiring programmers in the Twitch channel right now. So
We know
talk
that.
to them
Yeah.
about there's a lot of designers that get a lot of love and artists that get a lot of love, but I don't ever see programmers getting a lot of love on streams. So why don't you, for all the aspiring programmers out there, show them what you're doing right here. Talk to them through that. There is a career in programming for sure, more than there is for artists and designers. Personally, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm looking at some of the issues we have. Like we found a little hitch in the client that occasionally comes up when you're doing certain things. So I'm looking through our timing information, and that's what this display over here is actually. It gives you an example of the kind of things we can see inside the client in terms of what frame rate's doing in different cases. You can see that it's kind of consistent. This is all kind of a consistent time, and there's like a little hiccup that shows up. We're trying to figure out what's actually tracking, what's actually causing that to happen. So I'm going through some of the code here. I've been talking with some of the other engineers, try and track down the actual code that's causing that.
Nice.
It takes a little while.
And what is the program you're using on the left here for people that don't know?
This over here?
Yes.
Visual Studio?
Visual Studio.
Yeah.
So there you go, kids.
So Visual Studio Suite, and we have a lot of performance testing, analytics. A lot of automated stuff too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty awesome. It's programmers are basically the heart of the game.
They're the voodoo
they're-
practitioners.
They're the brain and the heart.
We say things like "make guns shoot not straight," and
Yeah.
they go "okay," and they do a bunch of math and things happen.
They're literally making the things that we imagine come to life.
It's awesome.
So,
and actually on this team, especially with guys like Mitch that you met earlier, he makes things that he imagines come to life without telling us, and then we all just explode in the middle of town.
nice. Great. So, these guys aren't here. They're probably scared of us. We scared them away,
I
guys.
saw some emails from a couple of them last night.
Bill's
Yeah.
working on the barricade. He was the art director that you met earlier. Oh, Dayquil Bill.
Yeah.
Oh, he was sick today and he still came in.
Yeah, he's actually been sick for a few days, so
Don't get
please.
infected.
Wait, well, is it transferable via microphone through camera
Yeah.
to internet? This is the start of H1Z1 right here.
So I know it's only been a short time, but do you have any progress on the barricade?
The only thing I've got right now that I just did is I had to place, it's kind of hard to see here, all these little locators for where the barricades can go in the house. I still got to do a little bit back and forth, but what I have to do is I place these are the sockets that we mentioned before, and then these sockets are where things attach to. It's pretty kind of straightforward with the term socket. Now I got to go make the barricade, and then once I have the barricade, I'll need to make sure each one of these is rotated and positioned correctly so they all line up. So
Sweet.
it'll take a little bit more time, but
And so what you guys saw earlier with Paul is he was making the barricade, and then that's going to be where it sockets onto the house.
Yep.
Okay.
yeah. And then once I have this, any number of barricades can be made once I've got it, in place. We'll make sure that the snap position is the same.
That's cool, man.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Very
All right.
cool.
There's
All
only
right.
a few
Take
more
your vitamins.
people-
Take your vitamins. Yeah, everyone vitamins.
There's only a few more people left to meet, so let's meet them real quick. and
Should we
then-
go around?
Should we go
or
around,
this
or should we go around this way? Let's go.
Go
this
that way.
We have
I don't-
we have a long cord mess here, so we
It's
gotta,
fun.
We gotta make sure that we don't.
By the way, guys,
I
I'm
already
monitoring
have.
chat as we walk around, and I did notice a couple people were like, "Oh, good job, 1 minute
Can you guys
interview."
come around this way? To some of the.
Well, yeah, we're gonna have to go around because of the cord. A couple people were like, "Oh, 1 minute interview with programmer." Sorry about that. We are working today. A couple of these guys.
You guys should meet Kyle. Oh, yeah, meet Kyle.
Hi.
Should I write it? Yeah.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hope to see all of you today. I'll be at the registration desk beginning right now. Hope to see you guys soon.
If you guys are actually coming down here from 12 to 5, Kyle's really awesome. Ask him for anything, or $5 even, he'll just give it to you.
He's one of the most generous people I've met, bar none. Wow. Yeah.
Pretty good.
He's also on our brand team.
Yeah. So I think Michelle has something to show you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.